Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Live at Builders Millwork. Today I'm here with Brandon Jort from Marvin Windows. Thanks for joining us today, Brandon.
Thank you for having me.
We're here today in one of our 4 Marvin window pods, and I think what I'd like to do is just kind of go through some windows here and have you give us an education.
That'd be fantastic.
Well, we're starting today. We're standing in front of this Essential window. Give me some details, Brandon.
Yeah, so Essential is an all fiberglass window. So think about fiberglass outside and in. Starts out with a relatively narrow frame, not only in depth, but also in terms of the visible glass that you see with the Essential windows themselves. On the right-hand side here is a direct glaze window. So again, very minimal frame profile versus different materials. You can start to see wider or thicker frame types, really blocking or limiting some of that visible glass and blocking some of that view that you have. The nice thing with Essential here that you're showing in your showroom is that you do have a couple different window types. You've got a direct glaze window. Here you have a casement window next to it, and then an additional direct glaze down below. So a lot of flexibility with Essential in terms of how we mold, how we join windows together, and stretching with this material all the way up to about 49 square feet in terms of a single window opening, right?
Pretty cool.
What I really like about this is you're showing a lot of versatility here. So you've got a black interior, but then you've used a wood casing or jamb to jam and trim out the window to the interior. It's a nice touch with an Essential window to balance out that black interior paint look with a nice natural wood look to the inside. Now, you can also get split finishes. So for example, if you wanted a black exterior mixed with a white interior or vice versa, that's an available option with the Essential line. And it's a really nice touch when we think about exterior aesthetics and also interior aesthetics of a custom home or project.
So tons of options, lots of versatility. Cool. So we're gonna move over here once. I wanna visit just a little bit. So right here, we got an elevate window.
Yeah.
This is a casement window again, but elevate, tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, so whereas Essential was an all fiberglass, Elevate is almost an all fiberglass window, but we have a pine interior with our Elevate series. Now this one shown today, this is painted black to the interior, but it's all solid pine throughout in terms of the interior, painted black, but you'll also see a raised SDL or simulated divided light applied to this window. It's a really nice architectural touch to give your window some architectural detail, even a little bit of shadow detail from the inside out or the outside in. Cool. The nice thing with Elevate, again, painted black, you'll get a little bit more step profile and detail, which is desirable oftentimes, but also you can go with a bare pine where you can stain that or paint it to your liking in your home or in your project. And also with added wood jamb extensions, can bring that wood look all the way to the interior. One of my favorite things about an Elevate window when it comes in a bare pine, and perhaps it's stained on site or painted on site, is that it is all wood inside looking out. So with the sash itself, you'll see a pine running all the way around the window, and you won't blend in that exterior color to the inside if that's not a look that you're going for. So you can really get that rich wood look all the way throughout the window, again, from the inside looking out.
So we can have that white window to the exterior because that's the facade that we're looking for in the color scheme, but on the inside, we can bring that natural color through a stain and not have any of that white visible.
That's absolutely right.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, that's a casement window from Elevate. We looked at an Essential. Let's sneak over here in another part of the room and look at one of our other windows.
Fantastic.
So now we're standing in front of kind of a cool window here. This is like a 90-degree window, and this is an Ultimate window.
Yeah.
So again, a Marvin window, but an Ultimate brand. So I'm going to ask you again, tell me a little bit about Ultimate.
Sure. So with Ultimate, I think about it as not unlimited options, but almost unlimited options within the Ultimate line and the Ultimate series. So you've got 5 standard wood species to the interior with our Ultimate line that you have to choose from, but you can also choose from some more exotic wood species as well. For example, a black walnut perhaps, or cherries, I believe falls actually in one of our standard wood species categories. Also sticking and detailing, you've got a lot of choices here. So what we're showing to the interior here is an SDL bar, but it has a square sticking detail. So it's squared to the inside, so you can really blend kind of a contemporary modern look, mixing in some wood tones to the interior with our Ultimate windows as well. You know, and not everything that Ultimate offers is always in the catalog, right? So a white interior shown here, but you can have this mix where you can have perhaps black painted interior for the sash or for your muttons with a white trim to the interior. So really just almost unlimited design options with our Ultimate product series.
Cool.
Everything's going to be wood throughout and then capped to the exterior with what I often refer to as a commercial grade exterior finish. So a Kynar exterior finish, we warranty that for 20 years for no fade to the exterior of your Ultimate Series window.
So that's an extruded aluminum piece. And then colors. Do we got just like a couple color options, or what can we do on the outside?
I was hoping you were going to put me on the spot and ask me to name all 19 colors. I don't think I could, but we do have 19 standard colors to the outside, but we can also apply a custom exterior color as well. So if there's something that you just need that's just very particular, perhaps in between, or maybe even a neon green, dare I say, you've got that flexibility within the Ultimate line. I don't advocate for neon green windows, but I have to say I have seen it before in certain parts of the country. That's a look people go for. But again, tons of options and 19 standards to the exterior.
Awesome. So what did I learn here about the Ultimate window? Wow, there's just a ton of options to choose from. And I think the thing that we want to tell our customer base is just because you don't see it, there's a ton of stuff in this showroom, but if you don't see it, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So please don't hesitate. If you've got something cool that you're looking for, ask, because odds are we can make it happen with Marvin.
One of the nice things that you have here in your showroom is we have really almost unlimited design flexibility with Ultimate, but you have other products on display where you can look at two different lines from within our collections at the same time. So it's very often I'll see something like an Ultimate corner window installed in the corner of a building or the corner of a home, right next to an Essential casement, for example, that's over here to my right or your left. So it's nice to be able to come in here, see multiple product lines, and it just gives you choices, flexibility, and options as you're going through that design process and deciding what it is you want your home to look like, both from the inside as well as the outside.
So one of the things that we're super proud of in the showroom here is the opportunity to come inside one of these pods, look at a brand. Today we're looking at all these cool Marvin windows, but your home is different. Bedrooms are different than living rooms, kitchen spaces, and just people and their own ideas and theories about what they want in different rooms. It's okay to mix and match stuff. Marvin has that capability. We can intertwine series, Essential, maybe in a sunroom portion of a house, but we're gonna go to the main feature in the living room, great room area, and we're gonna utilize all those opportunities that Ultimate window has from a color and size and standpoints. Really cool stuff, really cool opportunities.
That's it. And I'll say there's nothing like being able to come into a showroom like yours, being able to touch and feel the hardware, the operation, and get a feel for what it is that you're buying. Such an intimate choice in your home with your windows and doors. I mean, we're talking, this could be upwards of perhaps 50% of your total wall space for the exterior of your home. So just what a great opportunity, what a great space to showcase not only products, but give someone the opportunity to touch and feel exactly what they're going to be putting into their home and those spaces and places that you mentioned.
Well, Brandon, we got 3 more rooms to look at, so let's head over to the next room and look at some more cool Marvin products.
That sounds great.
So we're wandered in here to our patio door room. And again, we've got a lot of different stuff we're showing in here. Right now, we're looking at an Ultimate sliding French door. This door is 12 foot wide, 8 foot tall. What an opportunity to bring the outside in. Tell me a little bit about it.
Sure. So this is our G2 platform within our Ultimate door series. So with the G2, a couple of really cool things I think that we've done with this platform. So first of all, what you're looking at, 3-inch stile and rail door. So you're really minimizing the frame itself while maximizing that visible glass, enabling you to bring daylight into the opening and really capture that perhaps morning sun, late afternoon sun, or evening sunset when you're sitting in your home or your space looking inside out. Now, 3-inch stiles and rails is one thing, but we've also thickened up those panels a little bit too. So you have an option for a thinner panel, or when we get into this type of size, you can get into a much thicker panel to reach that 8 or potentially even 9 foot height within our G2 door series. One of the common things I've had asked and we've had asked in the past is, can I put a sliding door perhaps next to a hinge door? The nice thing with the G2 door platform, 2 things. One, is your reveal across the top. So it maintains that reveal. So if you did have a hinge door, maybe it's even an interior door sitting next to this door, you're gonna have a very similar reveal across the top of the door panel, even in the sliding door platform.
Cool, so what you're saying is, depending on the opportunity, sometimes a sliding door works better because maybe we've got a dining room table right here that we're dealing with, and we don't want that door to hinder the opportunities of the dining room table and everybody gathered around it. But we move over to another part of the home and the swing door just makes a lot of sense. And what you're telling me here is that we can have both of those doors in the same rooms and the looks are almost identical, but the functions are different.
You're absolutely right. And I love how where we're standing and how we're standing in this space and place, right? So to your point, we think about a sliding door, not interfering perhaps with an island or a table. But let's say I really prefer an in-swing. We have an opportunity to swing an in-swing door kind of in this similar area or space and get a feel for what the space feels like, what it's going to be like when we actually move in or live in that space.
Cool. Let's just go take a look at this ultimate in-swing door. I think this is in that G2 series as well. Now we're standing over here in front of this ultimate in-swing French door and we talked about, well, man, we could just move in the same room, sliding door, swinging door. Here we are standing in front of this G2 French door. It's got panels on the bottom of it. Give me a little info about that.
You know, it goes back to that, you know, a lot of options available within the Ultimate line, you know. So if you're leaning more contemporary with a 3-inch style and rail, or perhaps more traditional with that raised bottom panel to give you that look and style that you're going for. You know, one thing I think we often fail to mention or think about with our hinge doors, across our lines with our hinge doors, we're gonna have a multi-point hardware locking mechanism in virtually all of our door systems unless specified or requested otherwise. So with this in-swinging door, if I open it up, you'll notice that there's no visible hardware except for the mortise box all the way to the top or the bottom. But when I do close this door and I lift the handle up, I'm actually going to lock the door not only in the center, but also top and bottom as well. So think about performance, sealing out air, wind, water, rain, and also some security there as well.
Absolutely. Wow, that's really cool. So we've looked at 2 doors, both ultimate, but right over here, I see that we've got an Elevate sliding door. Let's talk a little bit about that and where we could incorporate that into the home.
Sure. So with our Elevate sliding French door, a couple of really neat things that I like about our Elevate sliding French. So first of all, again, you have a fiberglass or Ultrex exterior, so very durable exterior with an interior manufactured out of pine. So you can mix this having a painted black like what you see here. You can also have this as a bare pine painted or stained on site. One of the most common compliments, I guess I'd say, I hear about our Elevate door system and for virtually all of our sliding doors is ease of operation of the door panel and the door system itself, but also an integrated top hung screen. So the screens in our Elevate doors are hung at the top so that they're not rolling or catching any dirt that may collect throughout the seasons along the bottom of the door. So that screen, well, some may view as a minor feature, I think really makes a big difference in how we think about manufacturing, what we're manufacturing today, and really long-term durability of the system in its entirety. Not only the panel, the efficiency of the unit, but also something as simple as sliding your screen open and close, perhaps during the summer, and when you want to have your door open and keep bugs out.
And then not to be left out, we've got our Elevate sliding French door here, but right behind me, I'm gonna go into, well, we've got an Elevate door that'll swing as well. Yes, so we're complementing series. We've seen ultimate sliding, swinging. We've seen Elevate, sliding, swinging. We can really round out the gamut. Right in front of us here too, hardware options.
Yes.
Not to be left out, we spoke about contemporary, we spoke about traditional. Everything that Marvin offers us is going to give us options, whether we're in the Elevate series or whether we're in the Ultimate series. Going to give us options in colors, right?
Yes.
Going to give us options in styles, straight, curves, lots of stuff to think about. So when you come in here in the showroom and you walk into one of these pods with one of our sales staff, they're going to walk you through the easiest possible way they can by listening to what you're recommending. We know what you want in that home, and we're going to show you the paths to take to get exactly what you want. I think we should slip over into number 3 pod and look at some more options and opportunities that Marvin has to offer.
That sounds great.
All right, let's head over. So we were just in the patio door room, and here we've got an ultimate multi-slide stacked door. This door is 15 foot wide, 9 foot tall. What an opportunity to bring the outside in. This thing has got just a wicked screen on it that's pretty cool, so we got to talk about that a little bit. But first, just give me a little bit of a roundabout on this sliding door.
Sure. So in Ultimate, when we start to move from, I'd say perhaps more your traditional sizes, and in the G2 platform, those now traditional sizes are spanning 16 up to 16 feet wide plus,
Wow.
all the way up to 8 and 9 feet tall. But when you do need that added height or added width, or you want to really bring the outside into your point, that's when we move over into a multi-slide door system. So with the multi-slide door, you'll notice that it has a track system built right down into the floor.
Okay.
So Jim, this track can sit as all the way down to flush with your interior flooring as well as your exterior flooring, or what's shown here is just a 3/4 inch step from the floor underneath to the top of the sill at the exterior. So as we add panels, we start to add panels in depth, but we can also add our screen or track system in here to the interior. I like what you've done here, mixing and matching. You've got a nice white interior on the screen. This is also available in a black interior finish as well. But this is a retractable screen that travels from one side all the way to the other. So again, if you want to keep it open, but keep the bugs out, great option, great opportunity to do that here.
What a cool opportunity. If I was sitting in my house, my 4-season porch, whatever room it might be, that I would have the ability to screen this all the way across and just bring this whole 15 feet of outside in. Wow, it's cool.
Absolutely.
Transition from this information when we talk about big, let's take a look at this window right here. This is an ultimate direct glaze window. Now it's something different again. We haven't talked about it. We've talked about ultimate, but we haven't talked about narrow frame.
Yeah.
So when we talk about a narrow framed window, look at the size of this bad boy. Give me a little info.
Sure. So within Ultimate, we do have a narrow frame series. So think about this. There's a couple different ways to think about it. So when we have a narrow frame, we're going to bring that frame depth more narrow than our standard or traditional. Gives you a couple of interior options. One of those options is, in this scenario, we could have a black window, in essence, from a drywall return or drywall all the way to wrap around the corner and butt up right into the window itself.
Okay.
But another aspect to that is it's going to start to bring your glass towards the exterior of the home. So when you do that, it kind of moves you from that more traditional back set glass where you might have more shadow detail to now you've got that glass pressed to the exterior. It's going to give you much more of an exterior contemporary style or look to the outside. So again, interior trim details mixed in with that exterior look with the narrow frame really gives you a lot of design options in that contemporary and even that modern type realm.
Absolutely. Really cool. Right behind you here, we've got some casings. So on the outside of the house, we've got that standard frame that we would normally see that our siding butts into. But here I think we're showing maybe just a few, right, of some options that we could do on the exterior. Walk me through that a little bit.
Sure. So traditionally we might install a window and then someone might come in after the fact and apply that casing around the window. Historically, going back years, that casing might have been manufactured out of wood, for example. When you're using wood to the exterior, you've got more maintenance over time where you might have to come back, refinish or repaint that wood over time. The nice thing within our Ultimate series, these casings, part one, can come pre-applied to the window unit. And number two, it's going to carry the same finish warranty to the exterior that the window itself holds. So again, if you're going with a black and you're putting a casing on, it's going to have a 20-year no-fade warranty to the exterior within the Ultimate collection.
So I gotta ask, if my windows are gunmetal, does my applied casing have to be gunmetal or could it be a different color?
Not necessarily. So you can mix and match those colors if you'd wish.
Cool, cool. Well, I think I've got one more thing that I want to talk about. We got to move over to one more room. So let's sneak out of this room into our fourth pod and talk about something with Marvin that we haven't seen at all yet today.
That sounds great.
Awesome. Here we are in our fourth Marvin room, and this one is really dedicated to Marvin's Modern series. It's a newer product from Marvin within the last 5 years. A lot of information about it. We show quite a bit of it, but it's new. And it's new to people, and it's something that they're not used to. Talk to me a little bit about it. Tell me how it's made, what's different inside, outside.
Sure. So Modern is really born from thinking about how do we accommodate or meet the needs of a home that requires that modern look and aesthetic. Instead of coming in with older technology where we could have perhaps come in with an all aluminum window, Modern's really built ground up. So we're using a high density fiberglass throughout both the window and door frame. So that's from outside to in. And then we're capping to the interior with aluminum. So what that means, we think about things like interior comfort. We think about interior condensation perhaps in very cold winters. Having a high density fiberglass window frame is going to help keep the cold out. It's going to be very thermally efficient, and it's really going to help with any type of condensation issues that historically would have been really rampant in a home that might have used an all metal window, especially in the wintertime.
Cool, cool. And just looking at this thing here, we had Marvin Architectural, when we were designing this showroom, they came in and we said, man, we really want to show what the opportunities are. So we did this 15-foot wide, 9-foot tall, stacked and unit, vertical, horizontal. This all came individual units. We set it all in place as one unit, but wow, what a cool opportunity. Just something really neat. And with these new modern homes that we're seeing, the architecture that goes into them, there's a lot of different opportunities, a lot of different looks. One thing that I do like as well, though, with the Modern series is that a traditional 2-wide casement window, well, we can still do that as well. So when we get into maybe an extra bedroom that just requires an operating casement window, we don't necessarily have to switch lines. We can stick with that Modern series window with all those features and benefits that you talked about and bring it right into just a standard 2-wide casement window.
Absolutely. And you touched on something there, on this large window wall. I think it's really important to note, we started with kind of modern architecture, modern design. If we look at these two windows where they're joined together, that total dimension's about 2 7/8 of an inch. If we transfer that over to our door system, the doors, when they're closed, the rails on the door are almost exactly that same dimension. So if we're running a wide multi-slide door and we want to hang some transoms up above, we carry those vertical lines all the way across the exterior elevation of the home.
So a lot of thought put into the aesthetics of, can we keep all that stuff? Because in that modern technology and in that architecture, that's a big deal. So those clean lines, everything lining up the same is really important.
Absolutely. And even thinking about aesthetics, but mixing that in with performance as well. So we think about the performance of the individual window units, but housed inside or between these frames is actually a pocket where we can fit steel in between. We can fit 4-inch flat steel, which would bring this piece a little bit deeper, but not widen your mullions. We can even put 2-inch tube steel between these units where we start to spread them out a little bit. But it's a balance of, okay, we want to strike the right aesthetic, but we also want to ensure that that large window wall is going to perform, especially with the climate, and we get heavy winds in this area as well. So really a nice balance between aesthetics and then just technical innovation that we've built into our Modern series and our Modern line.
Awesome. So here's what I hear about the Modern series when we're talking to you, Brandon. Options are pretty much limitless. We can't show everything, so our customer base needs to have a great imagination and then just come in and visit with us, and we're going to put a product line together in your home that's just going to be something out of this world. Brandon, thanks so much for taking the time to walk through the 4 pods with us today. We learned a lot about our Marvin brands, and we would invite our customers to continue to come in, be educated, and receive information and education here at Builders Millwork. Thanks for coming today.
Great, thank you.